On this board, we're talking about 15 steps to an excellent credit report. Step number 1, print your credit report. Print your credit report. You can go on annualcreditreport.com, which is the only website that is officially endorsed by the federal government to get your one free copy of your credit report every year. Every year, you are entitled to one free copy of your credit report. Now, when I say one free copy, I mean one free copy from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, right? Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? So that's really 3 credit reports that you can get every year, right? From annualcreditreport.com, right? So step number 1 is print your credit reports, right? Step number 2, check for errors. Go through all 3 of them, the one from Experian, the one from Equifax, and the one from TransUnion. Go through all 3 of them and, search and check for any type of errors, right? Any type of misspellings, any type of errors in the numbers and anything. Just go through everything, go through all the information and check for any errors. Step number 3, make a list of all negative items. So I'm talking about any type of late payments or collections or charge-offs or high utilization or repos or delinquencies or bankruptcies or foreclosures, etc. Any type of negative information that you have on any of your credit reports, make a list, right? So you can use a notebook, or if you're more high tech, you can use a spreadsheet, right? But make a list. And by the way, you want to maintain you want to maintain organized records of everything, organized records as you go through this whole process, right? So make a list of all negative items. Step number 4, send round 1 dispute letters, using certified mail. And now the reason why I say certified mail is so that you have evidence of when you sent your letters in, right? You need to have evidence of everything, right? So that's why I say use certified mail, all right? And then wait for response. Now, in round one, you are asking the credit bureaus to investigate the accounts in order to verify that the information is accurate. That's what you're doing in round 1. Because under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, anything on your credit report that is inaccurate or unverifiable must be removed, right? According to FACTUAL, right? According to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, any information on your credit report that is inaccurate or unverifiable must be removed, all right? So step number 4 is round 1 dispute letters. Now, step number 5, if they did not remove all of the negative items, right, then proceed to send round 2 dispute letters. In round 2, you are asking the credit bureaus to provide you with the names and business addresses of each individual with whom they verified the information, right? So do you see the difference between round 1 and round 2? Round 1, you're just asking the credit bureaus to investigate the accounts in order to verify that the information is accurate. But in round 2, right, you are coming back to them and saying, okay, you guys are saying that, it's verified, you're saying that it's accurate, right? So then in round 2, you're saying, okay, well, please provide me with details of your investigation, right? Please provide me with supporting documentation. Please provide me with evidence of the investigation that you said you conducted, right? So you're asking, in round 2, you're asking them for more details, right? You're asking them for the names and business addresses of each individual with whom they verified the information, right? So that's step number 5. Now, step number 6. if they still have not removed all items, right? And by the way, each time you send in a letter, right, they have like 30 days. Now I heard that because of the pandemic, they were given up to 60 days, but anyway, there is a defined timeline in which they have to respond. So every time for each round, right, give them time, right? And you can look up to see, how much time they have. Now, remember, the clock starts once they receive the letter, not when you send it, but when they receive it, right? So, give them time, right? Keep track, right? And remember, you are using certified mail, right? So you have records, and so keep track of the time. Keep track of, keep organized notes regarding when you're sending stuff. Keep copies of everything, all that, right? Keep time, and then so every time you send a letter, wait for the response, right? And then move to the next. Move to the next step, right? So now, that was step 5, right? So now step 6, right? If they still have not removed all negative items, consider sending round 3 factual disputes, right? Now in round 3, you are looking for any type of discrepancy in your credit reports. So you're looking through your credit reports, right? And you're looking for any type of discrepancy, any type of, inaccurate account number or inaccurate dates or anything. You're looking for any type of discrepancy, right? And because, all of this stuff, right? Do you see the pattern here? All this stuff is really based on FACRA, right? The Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is saying that anything on your credit report that is inaccurate or unverifiable must be removed, right? So you're going through, so round 3, factual disputes, consider doing factual disputes where, you are reporting any type of discrepancy in your credit reports. Step number 7, if they still have not removed all negative items, then proceed to sending round 4. And round 4 is direct to creditor, right? So now, up until this point, we've been going back and forth with the credit bureaus. But in round 4, we're going to now send a letter, right, through certified mail, send a letter to the actual, debt collector, right? Now, it's either, the original creditor, or the original creditor, if they have, sold your account to a collection agency, then we're going to send the letter to that collection agency, right? So whoever the debt collector is, whether it's the original creditor or a collection agency. In round 4, we are sending a letter direct to the creditor, right? Now, in round 4, you are asking the actual debt collector for the details and documentation that verifies that the debt is yours. All right, that's step number 7. Now, step number 8, continue to send rounds of dispute letters. All right, step number 9, depending on the responses, right? Depending on the responses that you're getting back from, these credit bureaus or the collection agencies, right? Depending on the responses you're getting back, ask for a goodwill adjustment and or negotiate settlement in exchange for their written agreement to remove items, and or ask for a goodwill deletion, and or negotiate a pay for delete, right? So these are just various tools that you can, ask for based on the responses that you get back from the credit bureaus and or the collection agency or the original creditor, right? So now, number 10, keep in mind that paying off a collection account does not change your credit score unless you get them to agree in writing to remove the collection from your credit report. That's very, very important. So if you, pay it off, or if you settle or whatever, right? Make sure you have them give you the agreement in writing, right? In writing that they will remove that that collection account from your credit report. You have to make sure that they state in writing that once you pay, right, that they will remove the account from your credit report, right? Because technically, if you pay it off, right, yes, they will show it as being paid, but they don't have to take it off of your credit report. In fact, they can continue to report it for like up to 7 years, right? So you have to make sure that you get them to agree to take it off of your credit report, because if it stays on your credit report, it's still going to continue to negatively impact your credit score, right? Because really, a collection account that is paid still has the same negative impact as a collection account that is unpaid, right? Because you know the dollar amount, whether it's zero owed or whether it's thousands of dollars that you owe, right? The dollar amount really doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a collection account that's being reported, right? So you got to make sure that they agree to take that collection account off of your credit report, right, in exchange for your payment, right? So that's step number 10, right? Keep in mind that paying off a collection account does not change your credit score unless you get them to agree in writing to remove the collection from your credit report. Step number 11, when dealing with the credit bureaus, always send a copy of your ID with each envelope and make sure your ID matches the return address of your envelope. But when dealing with the actual creditors or the collection agencies, never send a copy of your ID, right? Also, never include your signature, because listen, the collection agencies, they have a reputation of being unethical, right? So you do not want to trust them with anything. You don't want to, like all your communication, you want to have it in writing, right? You know what I'm saying? And you never want to give them a copy of your ID, and you never want to give them a copy of your signature, right? Because you cannot trust collection agencies, all right? So that's step number 11. Step number 12, aim to keep your credit utilization under 10%, all right? If possible, become an authorized user on a credit card of a family member whom you trust. Because when you become an authorized user on someone else's, on a family member's credit card, then their credit, right? Like the benefits of their credit limit will also benefit you on your credit report, all right? But make sure it's a family member whom you trust, right? Someone who you trust, and you know that they have good credit and that they're paying their bills on time, right? So that's a great thing to keep in mind. Now that was step number 12. Step number 13, aim to never make late payments again. All right. Now, regardless of what has happened in the past, don't worry about the past. We can't go back and change anything that has happened in the past, right? But we can press the reset button, and we can, aim from this point on. We can really do our best to make sure that we do not make a late payment ever again. All right. Never make a late payment ever again. Track your accounts on at least a weekly basis, right? That's helpful to really, stay aware of what's going on with your accounts. Track your accounts on at least a weekly basis. Step number 14, for those who have no credits, all right? For those who have no credit at all, start building credit by getting a secured credit card and then later transition to a regular credit card. Step number 15, keep in mind that achieving an excellent credit score is not an overnight process. It takes time, but if you stay patient and consistent, it will happen. Thank you for watching.